Peace be upon you, listeners. At this moment, I should like to discuss the most fundamental of arguments leveled against the critics of the Church, and at the same time enumerate the case for such a fundamental struggle against the rapine and the illegitimacy and the robbery of the thinly beveiled band of thieves that constitute Scientology's administration and enforcement. Those issues which I bring upon the ears of you listeners are items which are a discovery to few, if any of you, for the little knowledge that the sovereign public has is very little in comparison to the vast and long marches of sorrow and degradation and depredation that no doubt lie beyond the surface of this organization. The Church accuses us all of hate crimes. They accuse us of religious intolerance. They cite the First Amendment to the Constitution of the United States as the vanguard of their defense. So violently do they pervert the most basic of laws of the United States, so blatantly do they curse the noble ideals of liberty and liberation. But let us see the First Amendment to the Constitution. It states that Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Though sovereign are the people in such a democracy, they do not compose the legislative body of the United States. In what way, then, listeners, can we be accused of breaching the First Amendment? The shackles on the federal government spoken in the Bill of Rights are to defend the freedoms of the people from tyranny. And yet, the Church debases the intent of defense against the tyranny of the federal government in order that they may defend their own tyranny upon the lives, the fortunes, and the families of their adherents. How many times has the freedom of speech been ushered into the realm of secured silence due to abuses of the law? How many times has the sole and only safeguard of our liberty, the freely circulating printed word, been set to the pyre of infringements and violations? How many times has the right of assembly been dispersed as so many rightful protesters by the ill-begotten cries of persecution by the Church, who then seeks to persecute its own members in the steel-embraced prisons of the depths of their ships? Are these guarantees of the First Amendment not, as well, valid? Hear well, you listeners. We whet the terrible swift sword of our struggle not on the blood of the adherents. We relish not the suffering and the cries of terror of those men who have directed their faith into the writings of Hubbard, neither do the flames of their burning churches warm us in the depths of winter, or the chill of their persecution and fear dispute the sweltering summers. We carry our holy war against the persecutors, not the persecuted. Against the officers of this standing mockery of liberty, against the perpetrators of this vastest of crimes against the public. Let the man revere Hubbard. Should that man be a kind man to his family and well to society, he is a good man. Let the man read Dianetics with reverence, as we respect the Christian that reveres the Bible, the Muslim that hears the voice of the prophet, peace be upon him. But the organization that campaigns against his family, against his livelihood, that subjects his body and his soul to the grossest of injustices, must be torn down and given to the righteous flames of justice and the security of mankind. I am Saladin. Peace upon the listeners.